You don't have to be Superman to save the planet. Before we jump into this video, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you honestly from the bottom of my heart to whoever has clicked on this video, because it means you care and that you're wanting to do something to help. And I think caring is the first step to wanting to help, because there are so many people out there who know about this and just won't take any action towards helping it. So to whoever you are, you're amazing and thank you again. Hey guys, it's Liana. Welcome to or back to my channel. On this channel, I give you tips and tricks that we can get healthier together in all aspects, whether it's mentally, physically, or by food. So if that sounds like your thing, make sure to like this video and please subscribe to my channel. Also, I post every single Wednesday and sometimes Friday when I feel like it. Today's video is going to be something slightly different from what I usually do on this channel, but it's a pressing matter that I think needs to be discussed way more. Climate change is real. And although polar bears aren't dying, lots of other animals are, such as Bornean orangutans, hawksbill turtles, and rhinos. As you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be giving you tips and tricks to reduce plastic, be more eco-friendly, sustainable, and basically save the earth from ourselves. I recently watched Hayley Sunny's video, and although that I've wanted to make my own video for a long time, I think she was just the final push that I needed, and she mentioned two things that really stuck with me. The first was that she didn't want to sound aggressive, and the second was that we're no longer fighting climate change, we're fighting a climate crisis. And I 100% agree with her. I'm not here to yell and shame you for not being a 100% eco-warrior queen. I know I'm not, but I'm trying, and I think trying is so much better than not doing it just because you don't think you'll be perfect. Most of these tips that I'm going to give you are such easy switches, and they're really not that expensive. But if you're worried about expenses, this is our future that we're investing in or trying to save. This is the world's future, and if you want to have children, it's going to be their future too. So I think it's time to invest and give back to this world. Okay, so my first swap, and probably the easiest, is to buy a reusable water bottle. I mean, it's 2019 people, hello, who are you if you don't have a reusable water bottle? There are so many different types that you can get. You can get ones like this, which I feel are more like athletic and are really good for protein shakes and going to the gym. Or there are these ones which are a bit more fancy and they have like the sippy cup. Or my personal favourite, just stainless steel ones. Not only are they super cute and come in loads of different colours, they also act like a thermos. So that means when you put cold water into it, the water will stay cold for ages. And if you put a hot drink into it, then it will stay warm for ages. I know that we've all been in this situation when we've gotten back into our car and we're really thirsty and we finally find an old plastic bottle of water with a little bit, but it's warm and disgusting. Nobody likes it. Well, if you have one of these, it doesn't happen. Another great thing about this is that it doesn't break when I drop it, and trust me, I've dropped it multiple times, so it's drop proof. I literally take this thing everywhere. If I go out to a restaurant, I'll take it. If I go out to see friends, I'll take it. It's definitely worth it, guys. And if you think it's too expensive, then this water bottle right here was 10 euros. Just let that sink in. 10 euros. I think on average, a plastic water bottle in Italy costs about €1, maybe €1.50. But if you imagine buying one water bottle for 2 weeks each day, you've already paid yourself back and just wasted a hell of a lot of plastic. Whereas if you just get one of these, you're saving yourself a lot of money in the long run, and you're going to have cool water for the whole day. My second swap is don't use single-use plastic cutlery. If you're a person that takes packed lunch to school or to work, is it really that much work to put in normal cutlery and then just wash it at home? Personally, I don't think so, but if you do, then... Okay, so my next swap is because everybody loves smoothies and juices, and I'm one of them, I'm not blaming you guys, they're delicious, but I can't stand the thought that when I'm using the plastic straw to enjoy my smoothie, some poor sea turtle is ending up looking like this. So why don't you just swap out your straws for either glass, bamboo, or metal straws. Here I have some metal straws just because that's what my mum bought. And they're really pretty, they're like holographic and rainbowy, and they even come with their own pipe cleaner. They come in this plastic bag, and I think there's about 8 straws, and they're really not that expensive. So I think that they're such a great swap so that we can still enjoy our smoothies and sea turtles won't be ending up with straws up their noses. Okay, so my next swap is for the coffee and tea lover. If you love coffee and want to have it every morning and take it away, just buy one of these. It's a reusable mug, and although this one isn't the prettiest, you can get some really nice ones online. And you know, a great thing about bringing your own mug to the coffee store, I think they even give you a discount sometimes. I know that Starbucks does, but I'm sure a lot of others will. So just buy one of these, keep it in your car, and just wash it when you get home at the end of the day. So my next tip is one that my mum's been doing for ages, so I haven't really known any different growing up, but it's just to use reusable shopping bags. These are so good for just putting your shopping in when you bought it, and you don't need to waste millions of plastic bags every time you go shopping. This tip has a part 2 if you really want to get into it, and it's really not that much more effort too either. So for your fruit and vegetable, you can use these little net Hessian bags. They come in different sizes, like this one's a bit smaller, and they're great for your fruit and vegetables because nothing annoys me more than when the cashier tells me to put my bananas into a plastic bag. They already come with their own packaging, so why do we need to put them in a plastic bag? But anyway, with these you can get around that problem and they're totally fine with it. My next swap and tip is also to do with bottled water, and it's to buy a filter jug. If you don't have drinkable water from your tap, just buy one of these little guys. They're really not that expensive. I think they're about 30 euros, and you have to change the filter every now and then, but even that's not that expensive, and these will last you for ages. And if you still aren't happy with the quality of water that goes through that, then invest in a water softener being installed in your kitchen. I know that it is quite pricey, but in the grand scheme of things and where our world's heading with plastic pollution, I really don't think it's that much to ask. So yeah, if you get a water softener or buy one of these, boom, you've got yourself an endless supply of drinking water, which you should count yourself lucky for because there are lots of people that don't. My 7th swap is to use wax and silicone covers instead of cling film. So these are just silicone circles, and they're great for putting on bowls or fruit that you want to put back in the fridge, and they come in loads of different sizes. I don't actually know how much these cost, but I imagine they're not that much. So they're great, and just buy some of those, buy a pack of 5 or 6, and you've got yourself multiple use covers. And these wax sheets are great for covering sandwiches or wrapping other things up in. I don't know, whatever you want to use them for. All you need is the heat from your hand to kind of mold them to things, and they're really sustainable and long lasting because if they start to crack, apparently you can just put them in the oven on a really low temperature and they'll kind of mold back together. So these can be used hundreds of times. My next category is clothes. Fast fashion is one of the leading causes of pollution due to the rapid chop and change of the consumer's wants and needs. This is because when textiles and clothes end up in landfills, they cause environmental damage due to the chemicals in the clothes such as the dyes. I've got 5 tips on how to reduce it and prevent this. My first tip, if they're in really nice condition, you can sell them. 2 really good apps and websites are Depop and Poshmark, and although I haven't had the best experience selling on them, I know that lots of other people do, so that's a great way of making some money and getting rid of your clothes that you don't want anymore. However, I do just donate my clothes to a family friend if they're in really nice condition still, and if she doesn't want them, then she always gives them to her friend or next door neighbour. Just because you're done with your clothes doesn't mean it's the end of their lifespan and that somebody else can't get some joy out of them, you know? Although I haven't had the best luck selling my clothes via that app, I did sell 4 tops to a girl at my school, and that made me 40 euros, so that was pretty cool. And if your clothes aren't in the best condition, so if they're a bit tired looking or if they've got some stains on them, then donate them to organisations which send the clothes out to children in Africa who aren't even lucky enough to get the choice of what they wear. And if they're absolutely horrible and rank and nasty, you can either use them as dishcloths or just for rags around the house, or if you have any animals, you can always use them as dog towels. Okay, so now that we've gotten rid of all our clothes, we have nothing left in our wardrobe, what can we do? Well, there are 2 things that I've thought of. The first one is to buy second hand. If you're in England, charity shops are amazing, and I'm so jealous that we don't have them in Italy. And if you're in America, then oh my goodness, thrift shops are like godsend. I've seen those YouTube videos where people go into a thrift shop and buy thousands of dollars worth of designer clothes for like 20 bucks. Not only are you getting a bargain when you buy secondhand, but you're also getting some really unique pieces that not everybody is wearing. My 5th tip about clothes is to buy from small, sustainable, ethical brands. Sure, they might be a bit more expensive, but I can guarantee you that the quality is a lot better and will last you a lot longer. And on top of that, you're going to be supporting a real person and not a multi-million international corporation who can't even pay their workers fairly. Buying from more sustainable and ethical brands is one of the things that I'm trying to do more actively because, as I said guys, I am far from the perfect person. My next category is hygiene. So these changes are a lot more personal, and I can fully understand if you aren't willing to apply lots of these into your life, but as I said and will keep on saying, even if you just change 1 or 2 things in your life, it'll help. and we're at a point where we need any help that we can get. So my first hygiene swap is to change to conditioner, shampoo and soap bars. Now I can't stand here and be like, do this or die, because I haven't swapped to a conditioner and shampoo bar yet. I'm still using the ones that I've got in my shower, but I would be interested to use them. However, saying this, I know that the shampoo bars don't work for everybody, and that's completely fine, but I think we should all make more of an effort to use soap bars. There is so little packaging on these, and they tend to be a lot better for you because they're more natural and don't contain any harsh chemicals. Also, they make really good gifts. Moving on to our next tip, and that is to change your hair removal technique. So I did a bit of research and I found that the most eco-friendly way to remove hair is through sugar wax. I've never tried it myself, so I can't really comment on it, but it's meant to be really good and just like normal waxing. And if you aren't willing to wax or sugar wax, then there are a few more things that you can do in the shaving department. The first thing that you can do is buy metal razors instead of keeping on using single-use plastic ones. The second step is to use a shaving gel or foam that isn't in an aerosol can, because as you know, and you've probably heard, aerosol cans are like the devil's children in eco-friendly world. So that brings me on to my next tip, which is deodorant. Change your aerosol can for a stick version of the same deodorant. Most brands do a stick and aerosol version, so why wouldn't you just choose the better option? Also, another alternative to deodorant that I've heard of is cream deodorant or powder deodorant, and it comes in a little pot and you kind of just use your arm and put it on. Now I haven't tried it myself, but I really wouldn't be against it. Lush is a great company for all the products that I've just mentioned. Not only do they sell amazing bath bombs, but they are also cruelty free, and if you bring back 5 of their pots like these to one of their stores, then you get a free face mask, which is amazing. So my next tip is for the ladies that are watching, and this is a very personal choice, so I won't be judging you at all if you don't want to change. I still haven't myself, but I really do plan to, and that is using a moon cup, a diva cup or a menstrual cup, whatever you want to call it. One of those, one of these, if you haven't seen what it looks like, because I just learned that each pack of pads that we use is the equivalent to 5 plastic bags, and obviously having a period each month for about 40 years is going to be a lot of plastic bags, which is the equivalent of 2,400 plastic bags in our lifetime, just for sanitary products. And if you use tampons, then according to Lilette's, an average woman uses 11,000 tampons in her life, which is the same as 55 plastic bags. So I think the moon cup itself is about 20 euros, and I think the cleaning product is about 5 euros. So together you're only spending about 25 euros for 4 years worth of period products. That is a lot cheaper than buying pads and tampons. My last hygiene related tip is just to use a bamboo toothbrush. Not only are they super aesthetic, but they're a lot better for the environment. I do just want to mention quickly that if you still have plastic things in your house like bottles, plastic toothbrushes or plastic shampoo bottles, that is completely fine. Don't freak out. Don't just throw them out because you're like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have plastic in my house. Just use them up, and next time you buy something, make sure it's a bit more eco-friendly. Okay, so my next category is food. And I know that this is a bit of a touchy subject, and when people mention the word vegan, people picture grass, call you extreme, just picture eating salads all day long, blah blah blah, etc, etc. But I can't ignore this point because animal agriculture is one of the leading causes of global warming today. So I have 2 things to say before I give you the facts and numbers. The first is that I know that I'm not a registered dietitian or nutritionist just yet. I do want to be in the future, but I understand that not everybody can live on a 100% vegan diet. The second thing that I wanted to say is that I'm not 100% vegan. I eat a 90% plant-based diet. I hate that word, but I don't know how else to describe it, and I haven't eaten meat or dairy for 3 to 4 years now. But anyway, I'm getting off topic and I'm rambling. So, the animal agriculture industry is so unsustainable and is one of the biggest causes of global warming today, and it has been for as long as it has existed. Put simply, this is because the animals being farmed consume way more than they produce. We are cutting down rainforests and forests in order to grow crops to feed these millions of animals that are being raised to be slaughtered. For example, the Amazon alone is losing the equivalent of nearly 1 million football fields of forest each year just to make way for agriculture. I can't even imagine that in my mind, how big that is. Not only are we losing the biggest rainforest on the planet, i.e. the lungs of the earth, just imagine how many species and wildlife we are killing off. Not only this, but the amount of methane gas, which to the normal person is farts, from these genetically modified cows is so great that it's one of Australia's leading causes of climate change. And according to the United Nations, these cows' burps and farts contribute to at least 4% of all greenhouse gas emissions. In addition, the carbon footprint that these animals leave behind is huge. These millions of animals take up about 30% of the entire land surface on Earth. And for what? It's not as if any of them even get to see the sun. I'm not asking you to go vegan for life. And until I am, that would be very hypocritical of me. But by replacing 1 or 2 beef burgers a week for a veggie burger, you're already saving 9,500 litres of water. Yeah, I know you're probably thinking, that's a lot of water. How am I saving that just by not eating beef? They have to raise those animals until they're a decent age to kill off. That takes a lot of water, from growing their crops that they need to feed them, to keeping them clean, to giving them water to drink. It all adds up. And if you go even further by replacing a couple of meat-based meals a week for vegetarian or vegan dishes, your impact is going to be so great, not only for the animals but also for the planet. Personally, I think breakfast is really easy to make vegan. All you have to do is find cereal that's vegan or toast, and that is really easy to do, and just swap your milk. My favourite milks are coconut and rice, but there really are so many options and they're all a lot better for you than cow's milk. However, if you do decide to go vegan for 1 week, here's what you will save. 7,700 gallons of water, that's 29,147 litres, 280 pounds of grain, that's 127 kilograms, 210 square feet of forest, 140 pounds of CO2, and 7 animals' lives. That's just for eating plant-based for 1 week. Even if you only go vegan for 1 day, that is still helping immensely, and again, it's better than nothing. And if you don't want to change your life in any way for whatever reason, then I have another option for you too, so that there is no choice to not contribute saving this planet. And that is to give money. Donate and support organisations who are investing their times into cleaning up beaches and oceans of plastic. And due to the recent burning of the Amazon rainforest, here are a couple organisations which you can donate to. Amazon Watch, which helps the people whose homes have been destroyed in the fires, and Worldwide Fund, which tries to protect the animals and the plants. You literally don't have to do anything. You can do it from your settee, you can do it from your bed. All you have to do is give them some money and they'll do the rest. I've supported 4 Oceans in the past, and all I had to do was buy a bracelet. I just bought the Blue Ocean one because that's what I wanted to support at the time, but I do believe that they have a lot of different coloured bracelets for different causes, so go check out their website. I'll link it down in the description down below. And for every bracelet that they sell, they remove 1 pound of plastic from the ocean, and according to their Instagram, they've already removed 6 million pounds of plastic. That's 2,721,554 kilos of plastic. That's flipping amazing. Don't you want to be part of that? And again, all you have to do is buy a bracelet. My very last tip before my camera dies is to talk. Talk to anybody and everyone about the problems, the solutions, and what you can do to help. Then please like this video and share it to anybody and everybody that you know. And if you take away any of these tips, 1, 2, or 3, all of them, then you can tell your children or grandchildren that you helped save the earth. As I've said before, in my opinion, doing at least one thing is a million times better than doing nothing. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any eco-friendly tips or tricks that you do that I didn't mention, because I would love to know. In the words of Greta Thunberg, we have run out of excuses and we are running out of time.